Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is General Hospital Edition. Today is Monday, July 10th, 2023. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one, it was like a 7.5 for me. It was solid. All right, let's get into it. Who do we want to start with? Um, let's go to Molly, Christina. Okay, so they had all the Davis girls at the table. So it was Molly, Christina, Alexis, and what's her name? Sam. And TJ was there, and they get up and say, "Let's go dancing." So TJ and Molly go to dance, and then for some reason Molly turns around and comes back. Well, when she turns around and comes back, Christina is saying, I want to help Molly and them some kind of way. Maybe I could be their surrogate. Well, Molly hears this and she runs off to TJ and she tells him she's so furious with Christina because she's always makes everything about her, and TJ was agreeing with her and all this. And then at the end of the day, Molly says, I've been really selfish not asking you. Like, I've been grieving that I can't have children, but I didn't ask you how you felt. And he said he does want to have children whatever way possible, and he always thought she would carry their children. And then she said, well, after she got over her anger, she said, well, if we did decide to go the surrogacy route, Christina is family. We have the same blood, they have DNA and stuff. So it would be that would be the route she would be most comfortable with. Now we go back to the table, and Sam and Alexis just tell Christina, don't you go telling Molly you want to be her surrogate until you think about this. Because Sam said, when I lost Lila, I went through the pregnancy of everything. And then when I lost her, that was grief. And she said, so pregnancy isn't just, oh, I'm going to pop a baby out. You got to really think about that. And Christina thought about it and she was like, whoa, I'm glad I didn't tell Molly. I said, girl, she heard you anyways. And that's it with them, y'all. Let's move on. So then we go and we see Joss and Trina are enjoying a picnic together. They're enjoying a picnic together. They are just talking about, they're catching up, and they're talking about Spencer and how their boyfriends don't get along. But Jocelyn says, you know what, I'm partly to blame because the way I handled things with Cam in the end wasn't right, and Spencer's just taking up for Cam, having Cam's back, and I don't blame him for that. And she said, plus I think he's intimidated by Dex because Spencer's used to just throwing his money around, and he wants to be the tough guy as well. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on, let me try to bring him closer. I don't know if you guys can hear me that well. Um, Mommy, you are. I don't know. Okay, so she said so. And here comes Dex working for Sonny and all this, and Trina says, "Yeah, you're probably right." And so then Dex comes up to them, and when he does, you know, Trina was gonna leave, but they said no. Jocelyn says, "No, I want my two favorite people to get along." And so they're sitting down, chilling and enjoying themselves, and then Dex gets a phone call. The phone call is from Dante. Now they're at the Metro Court, right? And a shot has rang out, and we know someone is down on the ground, down, or we're assuming someone has been shot. So they look around. Sonny takes cover with Anna. Dante takes cover, sheltering people. Portia, Jordan, and Zeke get under the table, and Curtis was walking, and then you can kind of see Curtis start diving. Well, anyways, Gabe comes through. That's Sonny's man, and he's looking around like, "Boss, I got you covered." So the shooting is coming from the roof, and then the next thing you know, you see Portia looks over and Curtis is down, and his he's laying on he's laying lying face down, but he's bleeding. And so she runs over to him, and they're like, no, you can't do that because we don't know if the shooter's gone. But she can't let him bleed like that. So she runs over to him to try to stop the blood. And then Dante tells everybody to stay down or whatever. And then Sonny jumps out and he said, this ends now. And he jumps out and said, hey, here I am or whatever. And there was no more shooting. So that let them know that, okay, you can bring the paramedics in because Curtis needed paramedics, right? And so they bring the paramedics in, and Portia's like, it's just so much blood. I said, really, girl? Because you ain't got no blood on you. But they bring the paramedics in, and she tells them, I'm his wife, I'm riding with him. And they say, oh, I'm sorry. Chase is actually, he was actually outside walking around, on the phone calling it in, when he sees Elizabeth and Finn, and he tells them what's going on. And they go out and they tell Portia, Portia, you gotta move so we can try to take care of him. This is Finn and Elizabeth. So they go in there and they're trying to help him and everything, right? So then the paramedics come because Sonny has, made it clear, because they didn't keep shooting, so obviously it's fine, right? So the paramedics were able to come in. Portia rides in the paramedics with them, and then we see everybody's, just talking. Um, Jordan says she can't. She was like, we can't go because we got to give our statements. And so Zeke is like, he goes to Dante and he said, can I take her to the hospital and go, support my sister? And Dante said, did y'all see the shooter? Did y'all know any information? They were like, not really, no. And he was like, yeah, then y'all can go ahead and go to the hospital. Because I forget that Jordan is no longer the police commissioner. She is the deputy mayor now. So they go to the hospital, right? So at the Metro Court, Dante goes up and talks to Sonny, and he said that was really dangerous. And Sonny said, well, it got the paramedics to help Curtis. Like, that was the whole point, because if they were still shooting, I would have got shot. But since they were gone, the paramedics were able to come in and help Curtis. And Dante says, one of y'all were the targets. You or Anna. And Anna just assumes it's Sonny. And Sonny said, well, you the one had murder across. He's like, yeah, I've been hit. They tried to take me out, but you had murder across your door. So it's one of us. It's one of us trying to do this or whatever, right? I mean, they're trying to take out one of us, right? So then Brooklyn comes out, and they're like, she goes up and she hugs Dante. She's glad he's safe. And then she tells Chase that she's glad he's safe. And he was like, what you doing here or whatever? And she said, I wanted to check on Uncle Sonny. I wanted to check on Chase, and I mean Dante, and I wanted to check on you. Like, I just had to put my eyes on you. Y'all know how it is when you hear something bad happening, you just want to lay your eyes on your loved one to make sure that they're all good. That's all it was. So she's happy to see Chase is good, and he has to go, because he's still investigating all of this. And so then she goes and Brooklyn and talks to Sonny, and she's visibly shaken. She said, when something like this happens, you realize how dangerous Chase. Oh, she told Chase, I want you to know how much I care about you. So she tells Sonny, when something like this happens, you really realize how much they put their lives on the line. And so Sonny has Gabe take Brooklyn home because she's too shaken up, and he doesn't want her driving like that. And so him and Anna continue to talk, and they're just like, one of us was the target of this Anna. And Sonny thinks it's really thinks it's Anna. So then we see SWAT has come in, and they're clearing the building, right? And Dante and Chase go into the one room that was empty. And SWAT said they cleared it. But then when Dante and them looked, that big ass gun was behind the couch. I said, was he with SWAT? Y'all need to check that man. Because how you miss this big gun and the shell cases? Like, come on now. But anyways, they said, they said it looked like an intelligence op. This doesn't look like just a regular hit. Like, this was. So now I'm like, okay, so y'all think it's Anna, like the WSB or something? Because y'all know how they be taking our people. When they be with y'all know how people have conspiracy theories about the government, how they come in and they take out people. So now if it's intelligence, could they have been targeting Anna? You know what I mean? So I don't know, child. We'll move on from that. So then we see that they go to the hospital, right? We go to the hospital, and Portia goes in, and they all come in and they start working on Curtis and everything. I can't think of what the woman's name is, but she always had a pretty twist out. Her hair is always pretty. She she tells Jordan that she tells Jordan, not Jordan, but Portia, you can't be in the hospital room. And Portia's like, that's my husband. I need you to make sure he's all good. I said, first of all, she needs to change her gloves because you touching her hands, ma'am. But anyways, so Curtis is in the operating room, and then that's when Jordan and Zeke come up, and they ask, is there any update? And she says, no, not really. He's in the emergency room. They're gonna probably prep him for surgery. She says, I'm a doctor. I know exactly what the steps they're going through, but I also know, they're the best, but I also know they're human and anything could happen. And so then around this time, Trina calls because Dante had called um, Dex and told Dex that there had been a shooting and that Sonny was good, but there was somebody that got shot. And so he asked him who, and he said Curtis Ashford. And so then when Trina and Josh they were like, they could hear his part of the conversation, knew something was wrong, and they were like, "What's up?" And he was like, "There was a shooting at the Metro Court," and Jocelyn was like, "I hope everyone's okay." And he said, "Yeah, there was one person shot," and they were like, "Who was it?" And he said Curtis Ashford. So of course Trina is like, "Oh my gosh!" So she calls Portia, and Portia's talking to her, and she's telling her everything that went down as far as because Trina was just like, "Tell me what happened." So she's going over, that she was just standing there talking to Zeke and Jordan. Then Curtis comes out, and the next thing they know, they hear shots, and Curtis was getting down. And the next thing they know, she saw the Curtis down, face down, and it was blood. And so she was trying to stop it. And Trina was afraid, and she says he's alive. Portia reassures her he's alive and he's fighting. But what Sonny said was he thinks the the bullet ricocheted, and that's how Curtis got. I'm not gonna get monetized for this. I'm saying all the trigger words not to get monetized. But anyways, it is what it is, child. And he says the bullet probably hit him, it ricocheted and hit Curtis, and that's probably how he got shot. So anyways, Portia's just like, how do you know about this? And Trina looks back, and so the next thing we see is Zeke and Jordan, and he tells Jordan, you know can I help with anything? I'm a lawyer. Do you need anything? And she said no. As deputy mayor, she has to make a statement, and so that's what she's gonna do. He said, let me walk you out. And so they do that. And then the next scene that we see, Jordan, excuse me, not Jordan, but Portia, Zeke, Trina, Dex, and Josh come in, and of course Portia and Trina embrace, and she says, they're asking, is he gonna be okay? And she says, they're prepping him for surgery. He's going into surgery and everything, and then Jocelyn tells Dex, "Can you please look after Trina? Because I feel like she needs Spencer, and I know where he is because she had told Trina earlier that Spencer was taking classes with Esme, and she thinks that's going to be his new approach to be nice to Esme to try to knock her, off her game." So Jocelyn goes to find Spencer. Now, Spencer and Esme are in this class, parenting class. Remember, they had to take that, and they're actually bonding. He tells her a nice story about how he liked to stay up late, so his dad pretended like he didn't know he had set up a room for like playing video games and stuff. And Esme was like, "That's the first time you had a nice memory of your dad." And then as they were answering questions and stuff over the parenting class, she realized that she hadn't taken in Spencer's feedback or account for anything. So they were really doing well in this parenting class as far as communication. But anyways, Jocelyn come up and she see Esme put her hand on Spencer's shoulder, and she looked and said, "Now wait a minute now." That's not what she said, but that's what I heard from that look. So then we see where do we go from here? So then we go back and we see that they're talking to Portia and Trina, and Trina's like, "How's my dad?" And they tell them that they're putting him in surgery, and it's gonna be very risky because the bullet is lodged near his spinal cord. So now it's like, oh my gosh, he's gonna be paralyzed. Like, what's gonna happen now? I don't know, child. Y'all, that was General Hospital today. My girl not feeling well, so I'm it was a quick review. Sorry. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow for our new episode of What Happened on the Soaps General Hospital edition. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.